Youngju and Hyein, episode 5 of our Blues starts with us switching perspective once more as we head back to the tranquil beauty of Jeju Island. Dong Seok continues to do odd jobs and sell things out the back of his van. He has an estranged relationship to his mother, who rings and tries to spark up a conversation. Unfortunately, he's pretty cold toward her. It turns out she has cancer, but can't bring herself to tell her son. Dong Seok calls his mother and demands she never speak to him again and eventually storms out. When he does, Yoonwee follows and hears his frustrations. Dong Seok's issues here stem from the fact she married his father's friend. Meanwhile, Youngju heads out running in the morning. She hates it on the island, believing the countryside is dull and boring. And just to top it all off, a seagull defecates on her top. If that wasn't enough, Yoonwee continues to try and mother her. Thankfully, there's Hyein, the one person who doesn't make her feel miserable. However, they're about to face problems of their own, given Yeongju could be pregnant. Yeongju's father is attentive and caring, putting her needs before his own needs. In fact, it's to the point where he sacrifices his own socks and dental care, so she can have the absolute best. However, that's all about to change when Yeongju does her pregnancy test, which Hyein manages to buy for her, and it comes back positive. Yeongju starts to avoid Hyein until he confronts her about what's happening. Outside, she admits to being pregnant and contemplates getting an abortion, bemoaning her luck. They only did it twice and apparently used protection too. Youngju tells Hyein that they need to keep their mouths shut. After all, if anyone finds out about this, they could be in trouble. Hyein does everything he can for Youngju, even paying the money he'd normally use to get into the academy. Youngju is struggling and at school, she clutches her stomach in pain. The nurse tells her not to take the pills, pointing out that the ones you obtain online are actually fake. So it would seem like she's stuck with having this baby. At hospital, she receives even more devastating news. She's 6 months pregnant. Yeongju is also warned that she's going to experience a lot of bleeding too. The doctor is pretty cold, giving her a number and assuming she didn't use proper protection. Teary-eyed, she asks the doctor if she can just get the surgery, but he tells her she needs a parental consent form. That night, Hyein calls Youngju when he hears about what's happening and reminds her that her baby is his too. Unfortunately, she just hangs up on him. Hyein is torn up about this and does some research online, even posting on a message board asking for advice about how women feel about abortion. Hyein clearly adores Youngju and tries to help her, offering up an empathetic ear and doing his best to be there. While Youngju visits the hospital, Hyein comes rushing up to support his girlfriend as she speaks to a doctor. She does a scan and even lets her hear the heartbeat as well. This causes Youngju to break down into tears, wailing and pleading with the doctor to stop. It's all too much for Youngju, and as the pair hold one another, the episode comes to a heartbreaking. Our Blues and My Liberation Notes have been an interesting duo of weekend K-dramas. Every time one looks down and out, the other comes along and bounces back. That much is especially true here, when it comes to episode 5, which is by far the best episode of our Blues whole season. The raw and heartbreaking topic of teen pregnancy is explored with an unflinching look at what it's actually like for these two kids. They try and do what's right, scrounging together money to get an abortion, but at the same time Hyein is conflicted over how he feels. Youngju is in a much tougher position. She hates it on the island, has no one to talk to, and realizes that, if she does confide in someone, it's a small community and word will get back to her father. She believes this news will break his heart, so she tries to be responsible, and stay quiet instead. Beyond this excellent storyline, is the intriguing ties between Dong Seok and his mother. What on earth happened there? Clearly there's a lot of animosity and pent-up frustrations, so we'll have to wait and see. To conclude though, our Blues delivers a very important and utterly enthralling episode. Let's hope tomorrow's is just as good.